Welcome in chat, welcome in chat, welcome in chat, welcome in chat, welcome in chat. How are we doing this fine morning, evening slash afternoon? It is your boy Hugo. I'll just let this campfire keep us nice and warm in these cold winter nights. It is exactly 6:08 in my little cul-de-sac. It is the coldest day that we've had all year, I believe. It was absurdly freezing outside. I haven't done much today. I went to see an old friend. I went to see an old friend. We went for lunch. We always go for lunch. He's a very cool guy, very successful guy. Unironically runs like he's like a director, but don't immediately shoot at me. He actually runs like a state enterprise that is still left from the socialist era. Very interesting guy. Thank you, Aster J. Aster J, legend, for starting us out with our first gifties. Then I went to wash the car. Then I almost froze. I went to the car wash, dude. I went to the car wash, and there was nobody else there. Usually this car wash is like filled with like at least 15, 20 cars at all times. And I go to the guy, and I'm giving him my key, and he's looking at me weird. I'm looking at him weird. I'm like, well, I mean, I don't see any problem washing it. Sure, it's snowing a little bit, but I park it in like a underground municipality garage near me, so like it's not going to snow on top of it. It's not going to ruin the fresh cleaning that it's about to get. And I'm like, everybody's stupid. Like, why aren't they washing their car today? Everybody is so fucking dumb. I leave him the car. I come back 30 minutes later. He washed it. And I realize why nobody's washing the car. It's like -7 outside. The whole car's frozen. Like they did a really good job like drying it out before it started freezing. But on the bottom of the car, all around the car, on the bottom, it was filled with these what do you call them? The little sharp ice knives that develop. So my whole car was looked like Santa's sled. It was just surrounded by tiny little hanging ice penises or whatever, icicles. Thank you, my friend. Icicles. And I was like, okay, this is why people don't do it, okay? Because, like, there's the, extremism is bad in every form, and you must be an enlightened centrist. On some topics, I guess, because I sometimes overdo it with, I'm not going to be a sheep. So even if I see nobody doing something, I'm like, that doesn't mean that I shouldn't do it, right? Sometimes it doesn't work out in your favor. Sometimes you should ask, why is nobody else doing this today? What the fuck? So, yeah, that's what happened today. That was my day. That was pretty much my day. I'm back. Today we are covering the evil American regime and the death squads it is issuing all over its cold streets. We have our first victim. Unironically, I'm not going to make fun of that. Rest in peace to that brave and completely innocent lady. Riots have started erupting all over the country, especially in the state where this extrajudicial murder happened. To help you properly contextualize ICE, I don't think I need to give you any high-end analysis. Because you're all more than familiar with what they are, how they operate, and what kind of a role they fit. But for those of you who might not know where to put them in your let's say, ideological definitions of the many instruments of empire and of fascism, look at them like brown shirts, okay? Like, we're cops that were serving capitalist Germany and then even fascist Germany bad in Germany? Yes, of course they were. Were they indirectly ideologized to serve the status quo by being police officers of Weimar Germany and afterwards the early stage Nazi Germany? Yes, they were. Were they different, though, to the brown shirts and afterwards to the SS? Yes, as well. Okay? So, two things can be bad, but one can be significantly worse. Where do we identify the main difference? The main difference is usually you join the police. Due to material, you want to pursue material well-being. Number one. Number two, because you're a chud. Or number three, because you genuinely believe in the institution and that it's going to help the world and you're just naive, right? There's other reasons you joined the police, but let's agree on those three really big ones. Why do you join ICE, though? Why do you join the SS, though? That is a hyper-conscious ideological decision. You have read what they believe in. You have read what they stood for. And that is why you're joining it, because you want to mold your country in that particular image. That's 90%. The other 10% are usually brown people that are fucking traitors and that just join it because they give very large bonuses and they give you a lot of cash. So do you understand me now? The way you should look at ICE in relation to regular American police is the same way you look at the SS in relations to just German police of the time. But because, we have not fully gone Fourth Reich yet, to an extent, that's arguable, you should compare them to brown shirts, right? So you have brown shirts. ICE is basically the Republican Party's paramilitary unit, which is very careful when it comes to who they hire and has a very openly stated authoritarian, oppressive, white supremacist goal. And everybody that joins them to a larger or lesser extent agrees with that. While everybody that fills the police force might not necessarily do so for ideological, because they believe in the supremacy of capitalism and its authoritarian version fascism. Yes? Do you understand now? That is the only slight contextualization I wanted to give you. Now let's get right into the events. But before we do, as always, support the show. Let us hit the Gamba point. Let us Gamba on this fine evening. Yesterday I streamed on Christmas, and now I am back. My voice is back. Do you like my voice? It is indeed back. Westerners, pay your goddamn taxes. Developing world chatters, pay your taxes as well, just so that you can show all those goddamn Westoids that you hold up more than half the sky in this chat. It is very nice to see all of you. If anybody died in the last 24 hours, please let us know, because here we don't know whether there is a heaven or a hell. But if there is one, it definitely has access to Twitch chat. Both definitely have access to Twitch chat. Thank you, Emo Snail, for the 7-month streak, baby. Thank you very much. Let's get right into the news. I think I found my new cover thing. It feels much warmer. It's very cozy. It's very Christmassy, right? Welcome back, voice back. We like Adrian. Thank you very much for your developing world taxes, as always, dude. Adrian is becoming quite the executive in chat. Okay, executive partner. A lot of oil has been supplied by you, my friend. You might join the inner circle soon. Oh, and it was 4 blocks away from Floyd's place of murder. Was it? Really? That is... I mean, am I surprised in any way, shape, or form? No, I'm not. Crazy. Rest in peace, Comrade Crip, gone and forgotten. Never, never. Adrian is indeed online.
An eyewitness of the shooting speaking out tonight. Her name is Emily Heller. She lives on the street where the shooting happened, and she filmed video that we have here just now to share with you out front. It shows the chaos immediately after Renee Nicole Good was shot and killed by that ICE agent in Minneapolis hours ago. We're going to play it for you. I do want to warn you that it is graphic.
Can I go check a pulse?
No! Back up! Now!
I'm a physician!
I don't
Listen,
care.
we understand. We got EMS coming. I get it. Just give us a second.
We have medics on scene. We have our own medics.
Where are they? Where are they? How can I relax? You just killed my neighbor! You caught butter in the face! You killed my neighbor! How do you show up to work every day? How the do you do this every day? You're killing my neighbors! You're stealing my neighbors! What the man?
Emily Heller.
When literal empire comes back and knocks on its own door, disgusting, horrible, to be expected. Thank you, Chillo, for the 21 months legend. Graduating in business engineering and getting radicalized during my educational years is beating my ass. No. Become extremely wealthy and then spend money on socialist organizations and spend like 0.5% of that money on on socialist streamers, particularly me, okay? Thanks for providing the radicalization, my dude. I'm finally joining the workforce again, and I've been plotting on unionizing my pharmacy. It's going to be tough, but it's a cause worth fighting for. That is what I'm here for, my friend. That is what I'm here for. I'm really glad. I'm really glad that's the direction you're taking.
Is out front now, who you heard there and filmed that in that horrifically traumatic moment. So, Emily, I know you live there. This is your street. This is your.
They are, pushing the status quo as much as they can. They want to see what they can do to you, and they want to indirectly, and in this case, very directly, inform you on the capacity that this paramilitary force has on domestic territory. Yes, like this is again to be relatively expected as instability increases, as the forms in which a state, in this case a capitalist state, protects its longevity changes throughout the eras, the less resources there are at its disposal to quote unquote pacify the masses. So to say it in very simpler terms, you have young empire. Young empire is struggling, so it motivates you through patriotism, okay? Then it becomes stable empire. Then it motivates you through treats, okay? It's going around plundering, doing all kind of stuff, but it's giving you a lot of stuff. It's giving you the picket fence. It's giving you the 2-story house. It's giving you the nice car. It's giving you that whole thing, right? Then it slowly starts to decline. And that is when they ask a question. They ask a question, do we want to change the economic system because it no longer works for the everyday citizen of empire? And you can answer that question sometimes by saying, no, let's reform it, or in some rare cases, it hasn't happened yet, in times of quote-unquote stability, maybe even revolution, okay, which is changing the system completely in this or that form. It can go down that direction. In the case of America, it very much so has not gone in that direction. What is the alternative direction it can go in? Well, in order to protect the privileges of the very few, they must protect a system that does not work for the majority. Once there's not enough treats to give out, once there's not enough carrots to dangle in front of your beautiful heads in the form of cars, iPhones, housing, healthcare, and so on, they will use the stick. And ICE is exactly that. It is a militarized paramilitary. It is a militarized force. Sorry, very English language today. I apologize. It is a militarized force which will which starts out by targeting categories of the impoverished workforce, which the majority of the rest of the workforce deems as unwanteds. Once those unwanteds are taken care of, it will move on to the next category, and the next category, and the next category. There is no such thing as fascism finishes, okay? It never finishes. It is the progressive train, puns intended, very dark pun intended, driving towards whatever concentration camp it needs to drive towards in order to preserve the status quo. It is a mechanism of preserving the status quo. Well, to an extent, very much so changing the status quo for the many, but not changing it for the few. That's why you need guys like this that are going to execute it, and you can give them a little bit more treats. That's it. Thank you very much, Comrade Crip, for your Developing World taxes, you fucking legend. Thank you very much for the 5 and for the 19 months. Thank you very much for your taxes. They are always appreciated. So someone on Blue Sky flipped the fuck out over swearing in Star Trek because it allegedly goes against Roddenberry's vision. Meanwhile, Data says shit in Generations. Holy mother of off topic, but yes, it's interesting. Sometimes the treat is immunity. Cuphead, that is beautifully put. Sometimes the treat is simply immunity. And that is what like Mexicans that are in ICE are hoping for. And all sorts of Latinos and black people that are in ICE. They're not even getting crazy treats. Their potential treat is immunity from the chaos which will be ushered in upon everyone who is deemed quote unquote different. But even if you are a category that is, the status quo human being, the normal human being, cis, straight, white guy in the States, right? They'll eventually come for your ass just under different pretenses. The only people who are safe are those who own capital. That is it. That is the only motherfuckers that be safe, okay? Lots of monetos, lots of monopoly money.
Home, and you're inside your house, you hear all of this commotion, everything is starting to happen. Okay, can you tell me what happened then? You hear everything, you come outside, and then what?
I hadn't even gotten dressed. I was making breakfast. I went out, I heard the commotion. I heard whistles, which is a common sign of ICE is nearby. And I went out onto my front porch. I didn't even have shoes on. And within 60 seconds, everything had already gone down. But there was an ICE convoy that seemed to be stuck, and then there was a protester who was blocking traffic, so they couldn't progress. And she was totally peaceful, and ICE, it seemed completely unorganized. They didn't really know what they were doing. They were screaming at her to move, and then they...
A lot of people I saw on Twitter posting the State Department's response to this was so insanely fucking quick. Of course it's going to be quick. They knew that this was bound to happen. A white lady was eventually going to get shot. And eventually we would have to dehumanize said white lady as well. That's why the response was so quick. That's why it was quote unquote it feels borderline pre-formulated, because of course they knew this was going to happen. The enemy is not stupid, ladies, gentlemen, and NBs. Never assume they are.
Approached her vehicle aggressively, tried to open her door.
White Lives Matter real quiet right now, right? Real fucking quiet. But she was gay or something, right? So, they'll use that one.
And then that's when she got spooked, and she reversed her vehicle to turn her wheels to try to escape. And that's when an ICE agent stepped in front of her vehicle and said, "Stop." And then, she was already moving, and then point blank shot her through her windshield in the face.
I can't imagine what it was.
Yeah, I do not look for it. I've seen uncensored footage. Her skull is just fucking split open.
To see that, Emily, the way that you are laying this out, though, I just want to repeat and make sure that I'm clear, and please correct me if I say anything wrong. You're saying that
and it's so obvious that the cop, this was like his biggest fantasy of all time, not the ICE agent. I don't give a shit. The fucking brown shirt. It was so obvious. Like he was just went, oh my gosh, he's running towards me. Oh my god, this is so fucking good. Yes. That is the only reason why you would ever actually open fire in a case like this. Oh, even if she was driving towards you, dude, the whole point of you being a police officer, or in this case, an ICE agent, is that you can, at least that's what they tell us, the normal plebeians, is that you can handle most situations better than civilians who would resort to extrajudicial violence. You're not supposed to resort to extrajudicial violence. And I hate to do this fucking thing, but non-American chatters. I know our cops aren't good. I know cops in general, except red police, of course, are the people's militia are not based, but nowhere on planet Earth except in the United States of America does a guy immediately whip out his gun and shoot at someone who goes from standing position into drive mode, directing herself in the opposite direction of the officer. But even if it was in the direction of the officer, that's not, that you will not see a Serbian cop, a Swedish cop, or a fucking French cop, or a Chinese cop, or a Ghanaian cop, or a fucking, I don't know, Chilean cop immediately whip out their gun and put tuk tuk tuk. No, that is not how police officers in the rest of the world react to situations like this. It simply is. It really isn't. It really isn't. And usually the argument is, the reason cops in the States are so trigger happy is because of the very lax gun laws, which means that almost everybody probably has a fucking blicky. So you got to be super careful because you don't know if the grandma in front of you doesn't have a blicky. That's why they react fast and shoot. She didn't have a fucking blicky. She was just driving. It was very obvious she doesn't have a blicky. And not even a cop. Yes, the brown shirt, exactly. So under every, even the most libbed up arguments, doing this is insane. Is insane. Thank you, example too unclear. No, you're my goat. Thank you for the 5 months. Be like an example. Be too unclear and subscribe.
You saw was disorganized ICE, but then when they tried to get her to stop, she got spooked. She reversed her car to turn her wheels to get away. And that was when the officer stepped in front.
They were telling her to leave. They were telling her to move, and then all of a sudden they were seemed like they were trying to get her. So they were telling her to move, and then in a split second they were saying they were trying to get her out of the car. So it was like she was trying to move. Once they were trying to get in her car, she was of course she wanted to leave at that point. They were extremely aggressive. She would have been scared, obviously. President Trump, as you know, posted a video saying that it's lucky the ICE agent was alive. And I just want to be clear, the ICE agent is walking afterwards, and we know that from anything that he had in the hospital, he's fine and he's out. But President Trump posted. Stood there. Yeah, go ahead.
They literally told her 3 things: get out of the car, drive away, stay where you are. Yes, in a moment, people are pointing fucking firearms at you in an incredibly high stress situation. She basically followed one of the instructions that were told to her. But even if she didn't, dude, even if she was driving towards the guy, it is not. The threat level does not require you blowing her brains out. Like I'm gonna do propaganda here, for fuck's sakes, for the European police. But no, you don't do that. I know that a cop isn't going to blow my brains out if he stops me for a fucking traffic check or something, and I try to run away, even if he's next to me. Even if he's next to me, like giving me documents, if I turn it on and gas pedal, he will not blow my brains out. The chances are 1%. In the States, the chances are 60% that I'm dead because I got scared and try to run away. Being scared and trying to run away from a cop, let alone a fucking death squad guy, is not something that will get you killed because you're white. Yes, of course, that plays a massive fucking factor. Yes. Why? Because they have the fucking plates, right? Like, they have everything. Why are you... Car chases as well. Like, we don't do car chases. What the fuck does a car chase do? You just run over a kid or something? You've been recorded by all the CCTV. Like, we'll find you. Like, where the fuck am I? I'm not in Need for Speed. I'm not in COD. I'm not in GTA. What the fuck are you doing?
Go ahead. Tell me what you're going to say about what he did afterwards.
Oh, he just stood there. The other ICE agents surrounded him. He was obviously spooked too. I mean, they seem like children. They seem like untrained people. And so that agent was obviously spooked because he had just killed someone. And it was very obvious to everyone who had witnessed it all that she would not make it.
Don't put yourself in stupid situations, like, simple. But at some point in your life, my friend, you will be in a stupid situation. Even if you imagine that trying to defend your community and calling out fascists rolling through your neighborhood, a stupid situation, which I don't think it is. I think it's a brave thing to do. But even if we say it's a stupid situation, no, let's teleport ourselves in a completely different situation. Or you did something extremely fucking dumb. You're DUIing, or you're a fucking asshole who is just road raging, and you ran down a couple of fucking traffic posts and you're losing your fucking mind. You're doing something stupid. Something went bad. You're doing fucking something stupid. Or any other category. Or you got in a fight in a bar and now there's a cop, but you're fucking concussed and you're going towards him and you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Okay? Almost all of us, at least once in our life, are going to do something absurdly stupid. Most of us, thankfully, will not have cops around when that stupid thing happens. But we should hope that the cops that are around while we're doing a stupid thing, because it's going to happen to every single one of you. You are not above this. You are not neither a saint nor a person that has so much wisdom that this will not happen to you. This will happen to you. And if you encourage and you applaud death squads like this or cops in general to blow those people's brains out, you're encouraging them to blow your brains out. It is that simple. It is that simple. Because you will have that day. Oh, I'm not going to have that day. Your kid's going to have that day. Your dad's going to have that day. Your fucking dog's going to have that day. Your dog's going to fucking just be annoyed one day and run at the fucking random guy in uniform that's doing some sort of fucking check on your property. And then your dog's dead. Get what I mean? Don't block or try to run over law enforcement. But let's imagine like she was actually scared and she was just trying to drive. Can't you imagine yourself in a situation like that happens? I'm going to play devil's advocate. I'm completely going to play, we don't have to be, like, we can have a conversation, right? Imagine you just panic and you do something that is quote-unquote dumb. I'm not calling this dumb. They made like 700 mistakes and she was just reacting to one of the instructions. But let's say you panic and you do something. Do you deserve to die because you panicked and did something? Something quote-unquote wrong. No, you don't. No, you do not. No, you do not. Come on. You don't, bro. Like, you just don't. I'm not libbing out right now and I'm not being like, ooh. I'm just genuine. Like, I think that when people do something stupid, they don't deserve to immediately be shot without any prosecution. Do what they say and get out of the car. If they are in the wrong, you will have your day in court. Driving away will mess your life up. Sure, in most situations, yes, I agree. That would be the semi-wiser thing to do. But then there was 1,000 situations when they do get out of the car and still get shot. The situations like this, when she's getting like 700 different types of instructions, she ends up following one of the instructions. She still ends up being shot. I also believe that if you let's call it fucking up. Let's call it. If you fuck up to follow, or if you fuck up in following a police officer's, or in this case a fucking brown shirt's instructions, you should also not get shot. You get what I mean? Like this is not rocket science, right? I'm sure you get what I mean. I'm sure you've been in situations when you've panicked and when you've done something that 2 hours later did not sound very rational to you. And I'm pretty sure you're glad you didn't die when you did that thing. So yes, extremely deep analysis by Yugopnik over here. I'm saying extrajudicial murders are bad. Fucking crassy. Incredibly deep, right, chat? Yugo, circa 2025. Murder bad, bro. Holy shit. Don't feed the trolls. Not feeding at all. We're having a conversation. We're having a conversation. It's a fine conversation. It's 2026. Oh my God, Valkyrie, fuck you. Valkyrie, fuck you. Oh my God, it is 2026. Eat my ass, Valkyrie. Oh, I am. You are my enemy. You are my enemy during today's stream. You are my enemy. Everybody, yo, we have Valkyrie, Valkyr the Jucheist, okay? Valkyr the Jucheist, we all hate you. Chat, tell Valkyr that we hate them, okay? Why did you do that? Why did you do that? And actually, it's 2026. Sorry, I'm the timekeeping trans girl. You are the fucking asshole trans girl, okay? Motherfucker. Ooh, it's 2020. Actually, it's 2026. Come on. I'm kidding. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your 2026, I guess.
And so they kind of gathered around him, and then there was a gold SUV that came, and they put him in it and got him out of there because everyone knew he had murdered someone.
So President Trump says the woman was disorderly, obstructing and resisting, who then violently, willfully, and viciously ran over the ICE officer who seems to have shot her in self-defense. He shared a video of the incident from a different angle. What's your response to that version of events?
I mean, that's the only reason why I'm here. I don't think I'm the most articulate person. I don't think that I don't want to be here, but I knew that this would be twisted.
I think you're exceptionally articulate, but okay.
And it would be self-defense, and that's absolutely not what happened. But it's just my life is forever changed from having witnessed this, and I just can't let this narrative that it was self-defense go any further because
very brave. This shot is very similar to roadblock shootings by the U.S. Army in Iraq, where civilians were shot doing three-point turns to avoid roadblocks. Fascism is when colonialism turns inward. Yes, that is exactly what we talked about in the beginning of the stream. Okay, a system upholds itself first through patriotism while it grows, then through treats when it's at its peak, then through suppression when it's faltering, okay? And this is the stage, the beginning, latent stages of imperialism turned inwards, of quote-unquote authoritarian capitalism, of quote-unquote fascism. You can call it so many fucking things. Yes, that's why the title of my video is American Regime Death Squads Kill Innocent Protester, because if this happened anywhere else, that's how it would be framed. And it would be correct.
That's absolutely not what it was. And yeah, my neighborhood, my neighbors, we're all going to be pretty traumatized from this for a long time.
When in that video that you shared with us that I just played, the 34 seconds, you know, you're obviously incredibly distraught,
going to be
and
dead.
there's a doctor
that's the main
next to
thing
you
we should be
or
talking
near
about.
you.
A
We can
dead human being.
hear him saying, "I'm a physician. I can help," and they say, "No, we have our own medics." But the doctor is there offering to administer CPR, standing right there. I don't want you to have to relive what you were looking at when the horror of her death, but how did agents respond to him? Was there a speed and a desperation in trying to get any sort of assistance to her? Because it didn't sound like that from what you gave us.
Why was she there 900 miles from her home? Do you not travel? Would she have been there if Democrats didn't demonize law enforcement? Bro, we just saw a guy that you define as law enforcement kill a lady. We don't need to demonize jack shit. Democrats don't need to demonize jack shit. I just saw, like, you guys as police force fucking opening fire on somebody that wants to drive away. And I said earlier, in other countries, police forces, again, ICE is not police force, but you get my fucking point. You don't get shot when you try to get away. You don't get shot when you're even driving towards a cop most of the time. And this is not defense of police outside of the states. This is just showing, in contrast between the different types of police, how unhinged yours is. We don't have to justify anything. She went out of her way to stick herself in that situation to interfere with law enforcement. She's a grown woman. Let's even say that was true. Let's even say that's true. Isn't the police supposed to be able to tackle a situation where during an investigation there's like whack jobs coming there doing fucked up shit without having to kill them? That's like, I am trying to make the most milquetoast argument on planet Earth. I am giving you all the points. I am giving you every single point. I'm not even being aggressive in the way I'm speaking. I'm just saying that maybe if you are given a gun and a badge, you should resort to every other option before actually shooting. Hell, I would say that if your whole job is tracking people to arrest them, you should not even be given a gun. Why the fuck do you need a gun? She gunned her car at law enforcement. Mike, my friend, come on, dude. You know this is what you're doing is fucking wacky. You know that it's wacky. Why are you like? There's a chance that cops will one day shoot at you when you're doing something stupid, and you're obviously not a cop. Like you are the citizenry, right? 1776. I see you're a proud citizen, right? You're a citizen. The more rights you have, the less they should have. Don't argue for in their name when they're shooting fellow citizens. Hell, like if you even really agree with them shooting, a proud citizen should just like stay quiet and say nothing, right? It's pretty simple. If okay, I guess mods got pissed off and banned. Okay. I couldn't read it. Timed out. Okay, not even a ban. Come on, guys. Like, why are you talking to the CIA officer? Guys, I've built the most wholesome fucking community on this platform, and I never have anybody to fight with. So this is like so fascinating to me. You know, I don't get to beef with anyone because this whole community is filled with people that are mostly arguably even smarter than me. Like 95% of you is smarter than me. 5% of you are just fucking brain melted gooners. But I love all of you equally, okay? I love all my children. So that's why you should let me, you know, have my fun, you know? I'm not even doing blood sports. I'm talking to them like I'm their like disenfranchised father. How are Americans so bloodthirsty? Because they haven't seen a lot of blood. Unironic, like you can go two directions. You can like hyper focus on civil society, which is kind of what the Eurocucks do, and that's why they're not as bloodthirsty as Americans. They live out real hard. Or in the developing world where you see blood when you're young, okay? You get into fights, you get the shit beat out of you, you have knives pulled on you, you know like 3 of the fucking 15 dealers in your fucking neighborhood, you've experienced things. So you no longer fetishize violence because you've never felt it on your fucking skin. But Yanks, especially like wealthier white Yanks, they never felt that shit. So it's you know, it's exciting. It gets their blood going, you know. It makes them a little bit wet. It pushes some blood through that cucumber, if you know what I mean. That's why. That's how I explain it to myself, at least. There's somebody with a fucking broken finger, a 2 times broken fucking nose, and I don't even want to tell you what the fuck else I have all over my body. Trust me, very much so, do not fetishize violence. I've had enough of that shit for 2 lifetimes. Thank you very much, Bluebird, for the 24 months. That is so kind of you. Bluebird is literally an OG. Thank you very much, Bluebird. Thank you very much. The ICE thugs know they aren't actually in danger here. They need to see actual danger. This will stop when someone or a group or someone stacks a lot of them with a long rifle. Our media glorifies war and everything from documentaries to YouTube content. We idolize war heroes. Video games have made blood into just stuff that hits the screen and disappears. Yes, so many factors. So many factors, so many factors, so many factors, so many factors. People like to live justice fantasies through cops and through soldiers, okay? They want content. They want to video gameize their life. They want to see like 2 characters in a procedurally generated movie somewhere out there interact in a particular thematic manner. That's why there's so much, That's why so many people really, 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 really like choosing the police's side in the million cases similar to this one that happen every year. That's why. Because it's content to them, dude. It's reality TV. It is literally reality TV. We used to have Big Brother. For you young bloods out here, you don't know what Big Brother was. But in Big Brother, you would basically watch reality TV, and then if you would like someone, you would send an SMS message as a vote, so they would stay in the reality TV, or they would get kicked out. But nobody watches that shit anymore because we have the gladiators. Everybody's like, oh, dude, look at this dystopian movie. They brought back gladiator fights. They brought back blood sports. We have blood sports. It's called this. This is blood sports. This is watching violence on TV, and then, okay, we can't send an SMS. We can't send a message. Shout out to SMSs. Real OGs, no. Zadruga, brate, da. Mi još to imamo, zašto nemamo ovakve policajce. Yeah, we don't send SMSs, but we watch this shit and we debate it with each other on who's right and who is wrong. We have blood sports. We have blood sports. We just don't have to systematize it because society is already bloody enough that it gives us gladiator fights all the time. I don't think it's just that. I think it's because we've spent the last 250 years manufacturing consent to kill anybody and anyone who ever opposed us on the global stage, and internal minorities here as well. There's only so many justifications to kill black and brown people that you can swallow before you begin to lose something internal about your soul. Basic humanness is lost, and all the passive wording when describing killing black and brown people and all the Black Hawk Down shit in America. Yes, I agree. Good context. Yes, of course. That is the classic answer, and it's the correct one. Also, many Americans don't have shit, so in order for them to feel powerful, they fantasize the idea of dominating someone. That is reality TV. That is what reality TV is supposed to give you. But reality TV used to give you very attractive, very charismatic people on screen that you could watch and create parasocial relationships with. But that's not as fun as you said. Forming a parasocial relationship with a cop that just blew somebody's brains out. That's different. As Trump said, it's all computer. You Gopnik say it's all content. It is all content. It is all reality TV. And we vote with our eyeballs. The second someone dies, to an extent, we're doing it right now, even though we're contextualizing it with empire, with fascism, and so on. We are contextualizing it, but we are also participating to an extent in said blood sport. We're trying to, why I sleep well at night is because I think I'm trying to co-opt this reality TV in order to potentially teach you something and to potentially encourage you and educate you towards, anti-fascist organizing and so on. But I am still, to an extent, participating in this reality TV. Our president was a reality TV show host. There you go. It's all content. It's all content. Thank you, Aster J, you beautiful motherfucker.
Wonderful. A new child soldier.
Also becoming quite the executive in here. Yeah, I try to way to co-op it. Yeah. I don't need to do it to cope. I don't need to cope. I don't need to cope with anything, if that's what you want to say. But co-op, yes. Yeah, watching Biden every day was a TV show comedy. Yeah, it really was.
Yeah, they wouldn't let him near.
Let's get back to reality TV 700. A lady was murdered while fascists roam the streets trying to round up minorities. What is your opinion on this murder? Vote now, vote now, vote now. Funny enough, now we have websites where probably you can bet on how this is going to be perceived by the wider public.
And they said they had their own medics that were on their way, which it was.
Baudrillard and Debois predicted this. Literally.
It was, I mean, I don't know. It was at least 15 minutes before the ambulance arrived, and then the ambulance couldn't even get through because the ICE agents had all abandoned their vehicles in the road, so the ambulance couldn't get through. So they parked at the end of the block, and about 5 paramedics came in and examined her for, I didn't see this, but they were with her for a few minutes, and then they carried her limp body away by her limbs, not even on a stretcher. Just carried her down to the end of the block where they could get a stretcher because they couldn't get through with their ambulance.
Emily, I appreciate your talking about this. I know it has to be incredibly difficult, and I think everyone understands why you're choosing to do it, to make sure people understand exactly what it is that you saw and documented, and I appreciate your being willing to do it.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, Joey, you heard what Emily had to say, and you know, she said, I don't want to be here, but I'm here because I want everyone to know what I saw, and she's very clear about what she saw.
Listen, it's got to be a very traumatic experience. What I'm concerned about, though, is the nature of the investigation. Let's be clear that there are going to be, of course, local officials investigating this, Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, in addition to the federal government. In the event that there's anything federal here, of course, then Trump would have the power to pardon. We're not there yet. There's not been a prosecution. There's not been an indictment. There's not been a criminal charge levied. However, in the event that it goes that way, I think it's very important that the community gets a sense of fairness, a sense of justice.
You know, like a younger Yugopnik right now. You know what younger Yugopnik would say? Dude, I hope he comes out and pardons him. You know, young accelerationist, very innocent Hugo would be like, no, I hope he pardons him. Of course, I wouldn't say it on stream, but in my incredibly brilliant, young, naive, radical mind, I would be like, I hope he pardons him because the American masses will go out on the streets and they will burn down Wall Street. They will burn down the White House. They will burn down every police station and ICE detention camp that they can find. The masses shall rise from the cul-de-sacs of America. Man, I had so dude, I had so much hope for American people when I was younger. Fucking crazy. What's gonna happen is gonna be like 3 protests, maybe like 5 Molotovs at the local like ICE facility. I hope I'm wrong. I fucking hope I'm wrong.
And in the event that it is federal, of course, there would be, according to Trump and what he put out already, he's judged that there's nothing to see
Stop
here.
lesbian outlaws.
And so if the locals get it, what will they do? Will they move forward? And if they move
Growing
forward, what will
protests
that
tonight
look
in
like?
Minneapolis.
Would it look like a, actual prosecution? And what would be the prosecution here? Criminal negligence, intent? We'll see.
Gil, I'm curious. Emily was talking about, there's that physician, and I understand that in the moment like this, right? There's
like unironically, in classic cases, for example, leftist analysis on when revolution can be done, we unironically talk about both a steady and continuous decline of the status quo, in this case, American imperialism and capitalism. But we also very often, if you read Lenin, we also really talk about, to simplify greatly, of course, these trigger points, trigger moments where the state does something so absurd that even every normie around the country goes, oh my fucking God, can't believe that happened. And then paired with proper revolutionary organizations, that can be turned into like a great upheaval. To an extent, something that at this current point was not successful, but I hope that it will be, is, for example, when in Serbia that thing fell on a bunch of people and children because of state corruption, and then the whole country has been protesting for a year and a half, et cetera, et cetera. So a moment like this can be a catalyst, a true catalyst. And it would be in most places, even for like regular protests. But in the States, there is such a big pile of reactionary meat that is going to be thrown at this fire, and not just institutionalized meat, but the type that chuds like the people that came into this chat earlier represent, like regular everyday citizens that love that fucking boot so fucking much. They will stand for the boot just so that they can own the libs, just so that they can feel alive for 2 seconds. And there is something that genuinely, like, I don't know what it is. I'm a lowly agitator here. But there is something that organizations genuinely have to do in that big, thick country of yours, that can be used as a, let's say, mechanism to better co-opt situations like these. Because often we talk about, hey, get to know your community. Hey, pitch alternatives to socialism to people you know. Hey, pitch alternatives to socialism to people that are living very indignant lives that, your environment has, your system has forgotten about. Teach them about alternatives. Teach people in unions about alternatives. The whole spiel, all of this. But we don't talk about enough about co-opting situations like this. And helping that catalyst spark more and more and more anti-fascists and more anti-capitalists. You understand what I'm saying? I think you understand what I'm saying. I can't say much because of this platform, but you understand what I'm saying. Thank you, Cuphead. I saw it. Let's see, we have something live.
Was from New York State.
Thank you, Cuphead.
Alex Boros, also a Democrat. Quote, not only was the ICE agent's hand on the gun, but Secretary Noem's hand was on the gun. President Trump's hand was on the gun. What is your response to New York Democratic leaders, those particular comments, and the protesters that are outside?
I would say those comments are why we're standing where we are today. That kind of language and that kind of provocative talk, inciting people to take action and perpetuate violence in some cases, is unacceptable, and especially of elected.
They are literally saying that ICE officers killed too many people, and now an ICE officer killed someone, and they're the ones that provoked that violence. What the mother of God? Thank you, Aster J, you fucking legend. We are at hour 1. We will continue watching this. Just a reminder to support the show. 0% ads, 0% sponsored, 100% principled. Pay your taxes. 0 Western taxpayers for today. That is low-key, high-key embarrassing. A lot of very decent developing world taxpayers. Please continue to do so. Maybe we will gamba. I hope we do. It is always a pleasure to be here, and thank you for supporting the show because it is funded by you and for you. Let's fucking go. Joe Kula, thank you very much. Be like Joe Kula. Joe Kula is a fucking legend.
Leaders, we have a responsibility
I hate him, but
to
he's
state
nice.
the facts, to go out and enforce the law. Your mayor just said in that statement that he was going to stand with illegal people who have broken our law before
Thank
he's going to put
you,
New York City
Luciferian, you legend.
citizens first. His job and why he was
Thank
elected
you.
was to protect the people who live here, that had the opportunity to vote for him and have the opportunity to live in this city. They pay
Plunger,
their
thank
taxes,
you,
they go to
Plunger.
work every day, and instead
And
the mayor
Backshot.
in that statement chose to stand with illegals
Fucking
instead of
legendary
those
name.
individuals who just want the chance to raise their families in New York City and have a part of the American dream. Yes.
What is that answer, dude?
Minnesota State Investigations Agency said that they have been cut out of the investigation into the fatal shooting in
Back shot even more. Damn, you're giving me back shots.
I'd like to know where they've been and why they're not out on the streets investigating all of these people that are harassing and inciting violence on law enforcement officers right now. They're allowing this situation to be volatile. They're not doing their work. They haven't for years, and maybe they should get to work a little bit on the unprecedented fraud that we've seen in Minnesota and in Minneapolis by people that stole from American citizens and diverted funds away from vulnerable people and programs and services that they needed and put it into their own pockets. Minnesota is a train wreck. It is.
Dude, this lady literally built her career on saying we need concentration camps. We will hunt them down. We will kill them. We will do whatever we want to the unwashed masses, which will not fall in line. And now an unwashed mass person was shot. And she's like, what about corruption? What about the corruption?
It was used to perpetuate a violent act that this officer took action to protect himself and to protect his fellow law enforcement officers. So we'll let this continue to go forward and follow the same policies and procedures that every use of force situation does. But we've had almost over 100 times that these vehicles have been used to ram law enforcement officers and to do damage and to harm them. When you take an action and use a weapon to harm someone and to incite violence against them and try to cause them injury or death, then it needs to be labeled exactly what it was. I would say that when these individuals use their vehicles to try to ram our law enforcement and put their lives in jeopardy, that law enforcement officer has to make a decision to protect his life and the individuals around him as well. Yes.
What did you make of Tom Homan's comments yesterday that we should wait for an investigation before determining, as you have, that in this incident it was self-defense and that he felt that his life was in danger?
You know, I didn't see those comments, but from what I understand, he also put out a statement later as well. So I'll let Tom speak to that. But all of us are on the same page in the fact that this law enforcement officer followed his training and that he defended and acted in defense of his life and those around him. Yes.
Of course, that's what she's going to say. Like, did you guys expect anything else? Okay, the sun rises over the American empire once again, and nothing has changed in it. Just now, hey guys, Americans, yo, Yanks, you know I fucking love you, right? I fucking love you. Now it's not only, like, okay, you used to be able to die from homelessness, from poverty, from not listening to your boss, from the police force. Now you can also die from paramilitary units. You have paramilitary units that can shoot you in your neighborhood, even if you're legal. Motherfuckers are dressed like me. Can blow your fucking brains out. And then you will appear on TV and everybody's going to be like, oh my God, that was so fucking based. Americans, you want to do something about it? How about you do something about it?
Wonderful. A new child soldier.
In a very non-violent and peaceful way. Holding up signs for peace. That is the only thing we are advocating for here. Okay? With the Savao. Thank you, Cynical.
Wonderful.
Chris, for your taxes. Let's go, Hype Train, go Booma.
Do you feel like that needs to be revisited so that maybe you go in a little more covertly, or do you need to change?
No, genuinely, I'm literally calling on you to protest.
Wonderful.
I'm calling
A
on
new
all of you
child
to protest
soldier.
like fucking crazy
Subscriber.
against this. Combine that with the coup in Venezuela. Like, come on. Everything is going insane. He's saying he's going to invade Greenland. They're
Wonderful.
fucking
A new child
paramilitaries
soldier.
are shooting your fellow
Subscriber.
citizens. They're putting non-citizens and citizens in concentration camps. They just couped a whole fucking country. They're saying they're going to invade another fucking country. They almost started World War
Wonderful.
III with
A
that
new
fucking
child soldier.
Russian boat
Subscriber.
yesterday. What do you need? What do you want to happen in order for you to all go to the streets? Like, do they have to individually come and shoot every single one of your mothers? Like, come on. There's just like, holy mother of God. There's so much. What the? Why is it? Why isn't everything on fire? I'm genuinely asking. What the fuck? I'm confused. What else do you need to happen? Like, what else needs to happen? What else needs to happen? Does Trump need to walk in, take a baby, and fucking strangle it in front of you on live TV? I don't get it, bruv. She's shaking all the piggies. Ike!
I'll talk more about that closure in the future. Yep.
So can you say if there was how many times a day they had been threatened, like how many other times they
It had been ongoing throughout the day. Yes.
Thank you, Adrian. Adrian carrying today's stream together with Astro.
Yes, absolutely. And I reiterated that.
Exactly, because nobody's surprised. Present radio. Yeah, exactly. You made arguably the best point out of any chatter. Because our cops shoot people. That's why. Like, nobody's reacting to an ICE agent shooting a person because you guys potentially getting shot by dudes in uniform is just okay. I drank lemonade today and I showered and I watched some. What do you guys watch? I watched some Rick and Morty. Pickle Rick. Oh, I just died. Rick. No, what was it? Morty, I was just shot by a cop. Morty. That's normal, Rick. Why does he sound like this? Rick, that's normal. You live in America, Rick. But no, that's not normal. Morty, that can't be normal. I want to turn into a pickle. That would be abnormal. That would be abnormal. But somebody shooting you, that is not abnormal here, okay? Stop that. Yes, I hate myself for doing it. F, thank you for the taxes, my friend. Day 2 of paying your taxes. Thank you very much. See all the developing world chatters in here, all paying their taxes, and Western chatters. Okay, Pickle Rick chatters, Western chatters at 0. You're telling me out of 620 people, we don't have some Westerners in here that need to pay their 20. That is fucking high-key embarrassing for the whole West. For the whole West. You can please voice an entire episode of Rick and Morty solo, no script. Morty, I'm about to do a hate crime. No, Rick, don't do a hate crime. Just join ICE. You can do it legally. It's legal to do hate crimes now, Morty. Oh my God, I'm going to join ICE, Morty. I'm going to do so many hate crimes, Morty. I'm going to turn myself into a pickle and do hate crimes. And when they call me out, I'm going to be like, it's minority on minority violence because I'm a pickle. Rick, I don't think that counts as minority on minority because you have to be a human minority. Okay, I'm stopping. God doesn't exist, and also ICE agents make huge bucks. Yes, they do. Thank you, Luciferian chatters. I am the West. Thank you very much. And yes, you are. You got 4 more, and I can count you. Sure, I'll pay taxes if you stop doing impressions. But that's not taxes. That is your personal subscription, which is a form of taxation. But we call something else taxes, baby. How much do I have to pay for this to continue for another hour? If you give me 50 subs, I'll do it for 10 minutes straight. If you give, no, wait. That I already said it, but please don't do that. Please don't do that. No, I'm serious. Don't do that. That's not even worth 50 subs. That's not worth 50 subs. Do not do that. I will not be able to handle that.
I had my press conference in Minneapolis. I asked everybody not to just pray for the officer, but also pray for the deceased family and her loved ones as well. It was a tragic situation that I hope we never see happen again. That's why I'm encouraging all elected leaders to work together so that we can be cooperative.
300 gift subs for me to just talk like Rick and Morty for a full hour. 300 gift subs. Yes, I'm taking that deal. Everybody would take that deal. But just tell me, like, how much do your subs cost? If it's $2 subs, I'm not doing that. If it's $2 subs, that's not worth it. If it's $4 and up per sub, I'm open to it. I'm open to it. I'm open to it. I'm a sellout. Jesus Christ, why am I open to it? Take yourself seriously, Hugo, for a second.
And getting dangerous criminals off of our streets.
Rick, take yourself seriously. No, Rick, you should take the 300. Be a sellout.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like that needs to be revisited so that
God damn it. God damn it, Morty. God damn it, Morty, he gave the 50. Morty, he gave the 50. God damn it, Morty. Oh no, why are you gonna talk like this for an hour? Oh no, Morty. No, Morty, we got fucked over, Morty. Morty, fuck me, Morty. Shit, Morty. Okay, why did you do that, number one? And number two, how long did I say I would have to do this for? Thank you so much for the 50, though. Thank you. Fucking legend. Absolute legend. But how long? I said 10 minutes. Okay. 10 minutes starts. Timer. Okay. Jesus Christ. I'm a fucking idiot. Timer. Plus one. Okay. The timer's running, Morty. I'm gonna time. Why did I do this to myself, Morty? God damn it. I didn't turn myself into a pickle this time, but I sure got myself into a pickle. Oh, God damn it, Morty. My throat hurts so much, Morty. And no, not from sucking dick. It's from a disease, and now I gotta talk like this, Morty. What the fuck? Oh, no. Oh, Lord.
I would say that we have all different kinds of law enforcement operations ongoing with the department at all times. We don't telegraph what they are, the details or specifics, or where we're going to be operating. I would say that there's different tactics utilized for what's appropriate for the situation and the criminal activity we see in the city.
Morty, I think she's lying, Morty.
Last question?
Rick, I think she's a racist.
Yes, it was. And
no, Morty, she's not racist. She's about to shake all the brown men in uniform.
that will be a part of some of the
That's how you prove you're not racist, Morty.
Details that we will be sharing in the future. Thank you. Thank you all for being here, and I appreciate you focusing on this operation and the 54 criminals that we have gotten off the streets because of the work of this team behind me. We thank all...
Oh, my God, Morty, do you think it's intentional that it's all brown men behind, like on the pictures, Morty? Yes, of course I fucking think it's intentional. Morty, why does the Dominican guy look like he's from GTA 5? Why does that picture look like he's pixelated? Why does that picture look like he's a GTA RP character?
All of them for their service.
Oh, geez, man, I don't know. Maybe they're not racist. Maybe the majority of violent offenders are black and brown. Shut the fuck up, Morty, you fucking racist piece of shit. Blah, blah. Thank you, Mary Jane, for moving us into level 11.
And recognize that...
Oh, geez, man. You shouldn't have hit me. I'm not racist. I'm just exercising my free speech. Dude, my voice is so fucked up. I can't do this.
Again, I'll remind you, tomorrow is Law Enforcement Day. Please take the time to thank a law enforcement officer who's out there keeping us and our family safe. Have a wonderful day.
Shut the fuck up, you fucking piece of shit. I mean, shut the fuck up, you fucking piece of shit.
The most important... Growing protests tonight in Minneapolis. An ICE agent shot a woman there, witnesses say, in the face as she was in her car. She is...
Hi, Morty. Apparently people are protesting, Morty. They're protesting. Yes, they're protesting. Is it going to do anything, Morty? No, I don't think it's going to do anything, but it's very nice to see them protesting. More of them should protest. Yes, Morty, absolutely. It's very base to protest, Morty.
Dead. He killed her. And you are looking at live pictures right now of the streets in Minneapolis. You can see all of those.
This is the most evil thing I've done, says Astro J. Yes, it is. No, it is, you fucking asshole. And I missed my thing. No, we have 6 more minutes. 6 more minutes, Morty. We can do this, Morty.
Lights. This is a vigil near the site where the shooting took place. Crowds have been growing all night. They are chanting, "Say her name." And we have just learned the victim's name. She is a 37-year-old woman, as we said, and her name is Renee.
Yes, we are in the past, Morty. We are in the past. We are time traveling, Morty. It's kind of the premise of the whole show, Morty. We are in the past, but this is the footage of the protest, Morty. We have to go to the past in order to show footage from yesterday, Morty.
Nicole Good.
14 hours ago, Morty.
Renee Nicole Good. She was shot and killed today. And ICE claims that the agent opened fire after Good, quote, weaponized her vehicle in an attempt to kill him, a federal officer. All right, well, there's a lot of video out there, so let's just show you some of it. Here's the video so you can see what actually happened for yourself. We warn you, it is graphic. Renee was killed. But you see agents approaching the SUV, which is stopped in the middle of the street. They instruct her to get out of the car. Now, according to Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, Trump puts out his own angle of the video to make that point. Let's just show you what he put out there. I've learned that he's been released, which is when he delivered a message to ICE. Here's what Fry said.
This is
Morty, Danny Blush just gave us a sub, Morty. They're pushing level 11 hype train, Morty. Oh, geez, Rick. We've never got to level 12, Rick. That would be crazy. Stop lying, Morty. We've gotten level 18. But actually, no, don't stop lying. Yes, we never got it.
not about preventing fraud. This is about sowing chaos on the streets of Minneapolis, and that's what they are intent on doing right now.
In a moment, we are going to be joined by a woman who lives on the street where the shooting happened. She was recording as she was pleading with agents to let a doctor check on tonight. And Whitney, the crowd is growing where you are. What are you seeing? What is the tone right now?
The tone right now is resilience. It is a chance to pay their respects to a woman they did not know who lost her life yards from right where I'm standing. It was right on this block where, as you see in the video, she pulls out and the ICE officer discharges his firearm into the driver's side of the vehicle, and then she careens to the left side of the street and crashes her car. Just yards behind me is exactly where that happened, Aaron. When we walked up there earlier, and you can't see it right now, but there were
We are tracking the breaking news in Minnesota tonight, where an ICE officer shot and killed a 37-year-old American woman, the Minneapolis of the city. First, I do want to show you a video of what happened. We still do not know exactly in Minneapolis 3 hours after the shooting happened. Quote, today, ICE officers in Minneapolis were conducting targeted operations when rioters began blocking ICE officers, and one of these violent...
Hey, Chatters, if you want to send Rick, and Morty, Rick and Morty, Pickle Rick, Rick and Morty, Pickle Rick, 667, Pickle Rick. If you want to send him, oh my God, only 3 more minutes. 67 Pickle Rick. If you want to send him links to any of the newest videos on this topic, send him Pickle Rick.
Violent rioters weaponized her vehicle, attempting to run over our law enforcement officers in an attempt to kill them. An act of domestic terrorism. An ICE officer, fearing for his life, the lives of his fellow law enforcement, and the safety of the public, fired defensive shots. End quote. And then this evening, Homeland Security...
If you're a TC local, we are protesting in Whipple Fed building, and there is another protest at 5:30, and 7-check TC PSL for more info. Please do that if you're from that region. Thank you, Chloe.
Security Secretary Kristi Noem said that ICE operations will continue in the city of Minneapolis. She placed blame on the woman who was killed and defended the actions of the officer involved. Watch this.
It's very clear that this individual was harassing and impeding law enforcement operations. Our officer followed his training, did exactly what he's been taught to do in that situation, and took action.
Okay, so we're thought Rick and Morty is over. Thank you very much for the support, though. I really appreciate you. Mary Jane, Danny, and of course, Astro J, the absolute mad lad. That was a funny bit. It's a funny bit. Too bad I'm not very good at doing voiceovers. Thank you, Astro. It's fucking funny. You savage. But yeah, okay. So he was following his training. So you're telling me that the beautiful United States of America, your training as a law enforcement officer is to just murder people that harass you. Let's agree that she was harassing them. I want to do devil's advocate 24/7 when covering this particular story for a very simple reason, because if you give them every argument under the sun, if you give it to them, if you say, okay, I agree with everything you're saying, when it comes to building the premise, they're still wrong. They're still wrong because you don't get to murder a person over this. You don't get to kill someone over this, even if she was driving right towards him with intent to run him over. As a law enforcement professional, the reason you're given that job and some other civilians are not being given that job is because you are supposed to be able to react faster and better and utilize as little force as possible. And to hear this fucking freak literally say, this DHS secretary, literally say, oh, they were harassing her. Oh, sorry, she was harassing them. That's why we got to fire. That's insane. That is insane. Act faster than a car. Yes. A car that is in standstill. Yes. Yes, you can. If KSI can jump over a Lamborghini driving really fast at him and he's not a cop should be able to move away. Dude, even if she ran over his foot, you don't open fire. Like, what the fuck? Why am I even explaining this? This is... Happening now, Minneapolis protesters confront ICE agents outside the federal building a day after ICE murdered Renee. Show your face, show your face. This is the energy we need all over the country. The time for revolution is now. Very cool. No, I show speed, not KSI. Jesus, I had a racism moment there.
Free press to go wherever.
Bro, are we the baddies, bro? Are we the bro? Are we the baddies? Are we the baddies, my friend? Are we the baddies? Are we the bad guys? Are we the baderinos? Why are they even at the protest? That's fucking stupid. Just two random university students probably talking about the health prospects of pomegranate juice behind the barriers. It's such an incredible American moment.
Can you please move on? Not today. Please move on. Off your driveway.
I do not appreciate the mask hatred here, okay? Bigotry towards masked people is a very serious problem modern society is facing, okay? They are pieces of shit because they're fascists, not because they wear masks. I'm kidding. Fuck that. Thank you, VodSky92. Thank you very much for the subscription and welcome to the community, baby. No, I understand the Bajaga comment. Ko je vidio onog Bajagu što mi je pisao, jebote? To celo vreme mi je bilo tamo gore. Izvini, jebote. Wait, let's check on...
regularly called climate science a hoax. Nearly half of the other groups he's pulled out of are related to the United Nations. The UN's climate chief has responded, saying Trump's decision is a colossal own goal that will harm living standards and the economy. Nearly 800,000 people in eastern Ukraine are still without power after Russian strikes have damaged energy infrastructure on Wednesday. The regions of Zaporizhia and Dnipropetrovsk were hit.
Yelling, show your face while wearing a mask is kind of ironic. It is, isn't it? Show your face. I am, if I'm anything in this life, I'm a hypocrite. A proud one. Okay, let me see what I have here on the ROS.
A massive memorial in Minneapolis tonight. Family, friends, and community members are getting together in South Minneapolis to remember Renee Nicole Good, who was fatally shot by an ICE agent during a federal immigration operation. That operation ending with two very different versions of what led up to that shooting. ICE calls it self-defense. The mayor calls it reckless abuse of power. Good evening, everybody. I'm Roop Raj. We begin tonight with video from the scene and a warning for you. It is graphic. 37-year-old Renee Nicole Good.
This woman died. Jesus Christ. This is
a person in full camo come and pull several times on the door handle, at which point the red vehicle reversed a few feet and started driving around, and the person who was by the driver's side originally, not the man who pulled on the door, but who was originally there, shot through the driver's side window 3 times.
And there was a maroon Honda kind of sideways in the road, and people were shouting move your car, you're obstructing the road. And the car began to back up and then pull forward at maybe 2 miles an hour. And then someone started to shout, "No, no." And then a moment later, 4 or 5 shots were fired into the vehicle. And at that point, I believe the person's foot hit the gas pedal pretty hard, and then it crashed into the nearest car on the opposite side of the street.
I saw the car parked in the road, and then a bunch of ICE agents walking up, screaming at her to move. And then when she backed up and then started to turn away to move and to get out of their way, then one of the guys jumped in front of the car. Another guy tried to rip the door open, and then someone yelled stop, and then I heard gunshots.
Yeah, and this is the lady that later went on CNN. I'm so good with faces.
Well, as you know, the shooting has sparked intense outrage. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey not holding back. In a profanity-laced press conference, he called the shooting reckless and demanded that ICE leave town.
They are already trying to spin this as an action of self-defense. Having seen the video of myself, I want to tell everybody directly, that is bull. There's little I can say, again, that'll make this situation better, but I do have a message for our community, for our city, and I have a message for ICE. To ICE, get the out of Minneapolis.
Wait, I want to see my favorite liberal cover this. Okay, I want to see what my favorite. Oh my God, he already titled it. Oh Lord, this is such a Phil DeFranco thing to do. ICE kills American. He has to make sure not ICE kills immigrant. ICE kills American.
I just shot and killed an American woman in her car, but DHS says that they were actually attacked and they're calling it domestic terrorism. But to most, that's not what the video shows, and it's also not what witnesses say happened. Where the video appears to show ICE agents approaching the SUV, telling this woman to get out of the car. One then tries to open the driver's side door and she tries to reverse away a little. And at this point, another agent walks from the side right in front of the car as she begins moving forward to try to get away from them. With the driver then being shot in the head several times and the SUV crashing into a parked car. Right, and this is what a witness says happened. An agent approached the victim in her SUV for blocking traffic, stood right up against her bumper, told her to move, and then pulled out a gun and fired multiple times. With the witness then claiming the SUV then sped forward about 100 feet before crashing and the woman slumped over inside. And so all of this is still developing in real time, but you have many pointing out that this kind of thing, it happened in Chicago recently.
That microphone probably costed my whole car. Yo, chat, do your job. Look at me, chat. I want you to find this microphone and tell me exactly how much it costs. Also, I just realized my lens still hasn't arrived. Okay, Jesus Christ. I swear to God, I'm never recording in 4K.
Right, ICE, CBP, they shot a woman who they claim was ramming into their car, but the DOJ was forced to drop the charges because they just made it up to justify shooting her. With text from the Border Patrol agent who shot her, showing him bragging about the shooting and calling it my 15 minutes of fame. The agent even reportedly rushed his vehicle over to the East Coast before defense attorneys could even inspect it. But for now, let me know your thoughts and reactions in those comments, share to spread the word, and follow to stay in the loop. I just shot and killed an American.
Okay, so he just, dude, this guy has the best job in the world. This guy has the best job in the world. You want to see you want to see a day in the life of Philip DeFranco? No, it's a little bit of an off topic, but I love doing semi sketches. This is the day of the life of Philip DeFranco. Oh, Okay. Okay. Yep. One second. Summarize. One second. Can I have a coffee, please? Thank you. Yeah, ignore this. Is definitely not from ChatGPT. Yeah, definitely not. Where's the fucking? A U.S. Immigrations and Custom Enforcement agent shot and killed a 37-year-old woman in South Minneapolis during a federal immigration enforcement operation on January 7th. The woman has been identified as one Renee Nicole Macklin Good, a mother and local resident. The incident occurred during a large federal crackdown involving thousands of agents deployed in the Twin Cities. Federal authorities say the woman attempted to ram ICE officers with her vehicle, calling it an act of domestic terrorism and claiming an agent fired in self-defense. Everybody else, though, disputes that narrative, showing video and eyewitnesses that she was not posing an immediate deadly threat when shot. Thank you. Support the show. Oh, have the $300 million been deposited yet? Yeah? Can you, buy me, an anime jacket? Yeah, 3 anime jackets. I want 3 anime jackets. Oh, great day at work. Oh, okay, bye-bye. Oh, that's it. That's a day in the life of, though it took a very long time to become as big as he is. So, God bless. Get your bag, bro, I guess. Get your liberal bag, bro. But yeah, this is the day. This is Philip DeFranco. But no, he's going to make it ethical. Of course, he's not going to use ChatGPT. He's going to pay 3 writers to write it for him in the morning, and then he's going to read it out. Which most of you will be like, oh my God, that's so much more ethical. That ethics so fucking hard. I'm ethicking so hard with the fucking employee. My brother likes DeFranco. I'm just glad it's not Joe Rogan. I agree. He's a great Joe Rogan alternative.
And Minnesota Governor
He's reading 3 GPTs.
Tim Walz echoing the sentiment of the Minneapolis mayor, saying today recklessness costs someone their life.
Minnesotans, I say this. I feel your anger. I'm angry. We do not need any further help from the federal government. To Donald Trump and Kristi Noem, you've done enough.
Walz says he reached out to Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem and is now waiting to hear back. More than 2,000 officers have been deployed in the Twin Cities from ICE as part of the Trump administration's immigration crackdown. This case sparking outrage across the country. A crowd tonight pouring into downtown Detroit to protest. Let's get live to Fox News' Lauren Edwards. She's there now where all of these protests happen. She spoke to the organizers.
I'm really glad that Walz is monitoring the situation.
And Lauren, I'm sure they had a lot to say.
Oh, absolutely, Roop. Before any of this happened, I just took a quick look at the map. Just wanted to see how far Minneapolis is away from here. And it's about 10 hours and 27 minutes. And even though the tragedy happened over there, it was definitely felt here. Many saying that it's the reason why they gathered and protested in the area behind us. Take a quick listen.
I love how we had a chud in here that said that, it's problematic that she was 900 miles away from her home. They're implying that this lady got on a plane to go and find an ICE agent to harass. What planet do these people live on? They will just use any argument. That's a non-argument. She was wearing orange that day. Don't you know that orange causes humans to develop higher levels of testosterone, which then motivates them to be more violent? What the fuck?
To just some of the chanting.
Like if a MAGA guy said that, they would be like, oh my God, that is so fucking base. That is so correct. That is so incredibly correct. I gotta go take a piss now, okay? Okay, Morty, I gotta go take a piss. No, Pickle Rick, don't take a piss. I'm gonna leave you in this lady's capable hands.
No ban, no wall, sanctuary for all. No ban, no wall, sanctuary for all.
Now, as you're looking at right now, dozens of dozens of Detroiters in front of the ICE building on Michigan Avenue in the downtown area, protesting that fatal shooting of Renee Good up in Minneapolis. And as Minnesotans took to the streets, so did Detroiters, marching and chanting through the downtown area as well. And the protest was organized by Comité de Acción Comunitaria, which is also known as Detroit Community Action Committee, and we spoke with the lead organizer. Her name is Cassandra Rodriguez, and she says the shooting was an absolute abuse of power.
I hate that this is happening, and I think I can speak for a lot of us when I say I'm angry. This shouldn't be happening, and I think a lot of us have been out in the streets protesting stuff like this before, and it's not surprising to us, but it's always devastating. We will continue to fight for better change, for accountability in our cities. I think this is something that should never be happening and is completely unacceptable, and I think it's up to our local governments to really take a hard stance against something like this and not allow ICE to just do whatever they want in our neighborhoods.
Now, coming up on the edge, we also asked her, and she talked about just the legal rights that the woman had for even just being there, and others there too. And we're going to get into all that again up on the edge. For now, reporting live here in downtown Detroit, Lauren Edwards, Fox 2 News.
Yeah, I know there's been so much concern across the country about ICE agents kind of coming in and being deployed into cities across this nation. Folks in Minneapolis not happy with what they're seeing there. Are there concerns from the people you talked to today that they'll see a similar deployment in our state?
Oh, absolutely. And they've already talked about it, and they talked about what's already been going on. And they said over and over again, the chanting, the protesting, gathering like that, they do that to bring awareness to what's going on, to bring awareness, to stand in solidarity with, sadly, the tragedy that happened up in Minneapolis, but also what's happening here.
Well, certainly they did it in the way they're supposed to, which is peacefully, and they got their voices heard. Lauren Edwards for us live tonight. Thank you. Minneapolis leaders are now blaming the federal government, saying there was little to no communication ahead of the operation. The mayor and governor say they were left in the dark and are demanding answers. Former chief of police for the Detroit.
Thank you, Barry, for the gift. I am back, and I have successfully pissed. If you wondered, I'm sure you wondered. Reminder, support the show. We have 0 Western taxpayers. That's embarrassing. Oh, no, we have 1 Western taxpayer. What the fuck is wrong with me? The one that made me talk like fucking Rick from Rick and Morty for an hour. Thank you very much. Der Pulitzer, it's very nice to see you, my friend. Thank you for the 2 months. Poggers.
Police Department Ralph Godby joining us now in studio with some perspective, and it's good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Rube, thank you for having me.
I want to ask you, there's a couple layers and levels here, but the first one that we'll just leave off where that lead-in led in, which said that the officials there wished that they were in the loop when it came to the federal deployment. Although no local official would want a deployment, what is the right way to do that?
Well, the fact that they wanted to be included in the conversation speaks volumes, because there's a level of coordination that has to happen between state, federal, and local. There's a level of deconfliction that needs to happen as well to make sure that no officers are operating in a way where they can hurt one another or someone innocently can be caught in a crossfire. So that's extremely important for span of control, for processing of prisoners, for service.